So hi again everyone. Last week I was talking about postures and pressures and why they are important, why they make the core of Jiu-Jitsu, and why a lot of people, why everyone who trains should get these down first before trying to focus on many possibilities. So today I want to do a little example, and I'm going to do this through a mount, how to control the guy on the bottom from the mount position. I'm going to show you a little sort of a mini instruction on what's the postures there, and what's the pressure like that you're able to maintain the mount. Okay? Yeah? Okay, so mount is a great position. I really like mount, and of course a huge inspiration throughout the years has been Roger. What made me really realize how great this position is, and inspired me how to get good at it. Okay, so when we talk about the mount, I usually talk about three postures here. First of all is you're just sitting on top of him. You always want to have your legs underneath him, and your toes pointed towards each other. So you always want to be like this. You always want to have a little pressure here, pinching your knees together and trying to always connect your toes. This is what your lower body should want to do. Okay? So this is the first posture, and your arms are just here. So that's first posture. When I like to teach people, I explain this, and I want them to just focus on the legs, and I'm going to do a little drill with them. Okay? So when you're in mount, and all the postures you have, you want to have the pressure that you're going to need is when against the common things that it's going to do. Okay, he's going to try to do the elbow knee escape. Yeah, he's going to try to do that. Yeah, and he's going to try to do the upa. He's going to try to flip the viskular. He's going to try to do this. Yes. Okay, now there. So when you just explain the posture, as I said, everybody can take the posture. Everybody just sit here for a second. But it's the important thing is going to be when you try to add pressure to it, or when he's going to resist. So the first things I like people to do is he's just going to try to bridge you. He's going to try to bridge you and not really try to elbow knee escape. He's going to yes, and you want to focus on the legs. You want to try to get your legs underneath it. And I'm going to explain later on why that is so important. You want to pinch your knees together. So yes, you can do a little drill. Yeah, he's just going to try to pinch, flip you over, and you just find your balance here with your arms, and you try to keep your legs together all the time. Okay, so that's how the first things you kind of have to do is just explain the little posture here, what your lower body is doing, what your legs and hips are doing, and then just gonna add a little movement to it, a little pressure development, and that goes through. This is a really simple drill. It's just people can focus on their lower body, and it's really important what your lower body is doing. Okay, so that's first thing. Then you can add, like for instance, you can try to grab your arms. Yeah, you can, because in reality, when he really tries to do the upa, he's going to grab your arms. So against the arms, you just want to, when he grabs the arm, you just want to put your weight on the other side immediately, because that way he won't turn you over so easily. If you're here and your weight is on this side, you're going to go over. Yes. So, but if he grabs the arm and you're immediately here, and when he goes, you can actually do the second posture, or the third, whatever, is the S-mount, which I'm going to talk about. You're not going to get flipped over if you have the balance on the other side. And this is a drill you can do again. If you explain the posture and you have the knees tight here, he's going to try to grab the arms, and you're going to, he's going to try to grab the arms, and you're always putting your weight on the other side. You can do this drill for a while again, and develop how you keep the legs together while at the same time, already starting to do this balancing yourself to the right side so that you can't get turned over. Okay. So that's the first posture. Okay, you're gonna worry about the upa. Okay, he's gonna do a lot of bridging. You gotta be aware of that. So secondly, with the second posture is the S-mount. Okay, the S-mount is basically like this. Okay, you want to have your toes pointing outwards. You want to have your heel against his hip, and you want to have your other leg against his back, and sort of like having a little bit hip pressure on it. and then balancing yourself. Okay, so this is the S-mount posture. So it's a really important to have that, and I'm going to do a little explaining now. Why? Because you see, this is now the second escape he's going to try to do is the elbow knee, and this is the really important escape, because the upa, if you get a little bit training, usually you don't get swept with the upa. Okay, so this is the main thing you got to worry about is the elbow knee escape. Okay, so when he tries to go for the elbow knee escape, now look, as I said, you want to have your legs underneath him. All right, so when he goes for it, he's going to go for the elbow knee. You want to actually, first thing you want to do is try to keep your leg underneath him. If you always keep your legs underneath him like this, you see the way he's going to try to push here, and you compensate it. You don't let your leg go down like this. Okay, you want to push it. You just want to push it down. Yeah, you want to push it there. He's going to shrimp and push it there. Now he's going to escape. He's going to get his leg underneath, out from underneath me. Okay, so what you want to do to prevent this is your lower body has to, when he pushes this leg, you turn your knee outwards and you push your foot that is underneath his legs. You push it out further and deeper underneath his legs. So when he pushes, you see how I turn. I turn my hips, and I put my leg underneath his legs. Yeah. So this neutralizes it. He can't escape. He can't get. If he tries to shrimp now and go for it, it's really hard for him. And I can maintain this position easily if I have my legs underneath him at all times. So that's really important. So first of all, you gotta have this pinching motion, and you gotta have those legs trying to go under, trying to get together underneath him. And when he goes for the, okay, so you have this already, and when he goes for the elbow knee, he's going to want to always turn your leg underneath him. This makes this is great for maintaining this position. Okay, trying to get your legs always underneath him. Okay, so that's what you got to know. So right now we have this general idea of keeping balance. We have this little bit arm fighting, and now we're going to add this. Okay, he tries to do that, and we always turn. You can turn your body a little bit. Turn your body a little bit. But you always gotta have this turning underneath his legs. If you do that, it's really hard for him to escape. But, and the last thing, now we're gonna go to the S-mount, is when he's a good guy, he's escaping, he has his posture, he turns to one side, and he pushes his leg down. If my leg is underneath him, and he's a good guy, he's gonna find that opening. He's gonna find the opening, and now my leg is exposed. He can either, he can do this, or he can just flat out start shrimping now. Because, I'm not controlling him like that anymore. So that's what a good guy will do. So that's important. That's what we need to work on. Because we want to maintain the bone, first of all. We want to just stay here forever, sort of. So, he does this, and my leg is out. Okay, then it's time to go for the S-mount. You can't wait anymore. Yeah, you're gonna turn away. So now, I neutralized the escape again. I brought my leg, my heel. I was sliding the heel against his body and bringing it up to the hip, toes pointing outwards. My other leg underneath his back, and I'm finding balance here. These legs are pinching together. I'm tightly squeezing them tight together, and I'm always finding balance here. So that's really important. And basically, in a nutshell, these are the most common things you'll see and you gotta fight against to develop posture and pressure. So right now I had this posture here, and I had the S-mount. And I showed really common things that's gonna happen from here. And everybody should do this, and everybody should get good at mount by developing these postures and doing a lot of isolation drills to get good at those two postures and switching between them. Okay, so the ultimate drill is just he's going to try to escape from the mount. And I'm just trying to maintain balance. Just always trying to keep my legs underneath him. If I lose that, I come up on the S-mount. S-mount again. All those movements, they're not good. Keeping, you see, stop that. When he goes for the upa now, I put my weight here, like I said, and bridge, and I turn to the S-mount immediately. I want him to like roll around in a hollow pipe, you know. He's rolling around, he's sort of like inside the pipe, you know. he's always going around here, but I'm not going with him. If I go with him, I end up on the bottom. If I go without him, he does the upa. I can start to get the back. Yeah. Okay? So, really simple, in a nutshell, as I said. To develop a good mount, you need these postures. Legs together, always underneath him, and finding balance here, and switching between the S-mount if necessary. If he gets his leg, if he gets your leg out exposed, you gotta switch to the S-mount immediately. So you do a lot of isolation drill like this, you get good at mount. Okay? Right now I explained mostly about the lower body. Of course you're gonna fight the frames as well. Let's say I switch to S-mount. Yeah, I gotta fight the frames. I gotta try to get these arms out of here, but I'm not gonna go into that right now. I just wanted to make sure what the legs are doing right now, because this is usually when I teach guys, who I see guys, they have problems with their mount. Usually the lower body is the leg movement is a bit whack, you know. They don't try to get this underneath them all the times. They're not trying to. When he bridges, I want to get my legs out underneath him. I want to get my legs underneath him. Great mount control. Okay, so usually when people and when he's going to push, they don't try to do that, or when they can't get the leg underneath him, they're just trying awkward. They're like trying to keep pushing here. You know, they're just trying to push it tight, but you can't. You gotta switch away. You gotta switch to the S mount. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to as an illustrate last week's topic about posture and pressure. So these are two postures that are really important. They're just general and the S mount, and then just switching between them all the times, finding your balance and playing around with these things. Okay, pay attention to those, train those. You're good at mount. The last thing I actually, as an extra, a little bit, I wanted to talk a little about a really pressure that is a sort of a pressure that is really common in grappling. You'll see it in a lot of positions. I'll give you examples, and if you get good at that, everything gets better. So, for instance, even when I go to the S mount, let's say, when I'm here in mount, I generally want to keep always pushing that side down. When he turns his one side up, he wants to escape. Yeah, I want to keep the pressure of always turning him that way. I always want to keep him exposing his back. Okay, and the way I do this, and even if he doesn't escape like that, you know, I might even do it from here. I might get a little angle on his elbow and start to push him there. Yeah, this way I want to push him. Okay, and the way I do that is I use my whole body, and this kind of this pressure is really important. You see, usually people try to, you know, let's say I want to attack the arm. I gotta get this arm over here, and then I want to turn to an arm bar. So what's going to be the problem is that when I go for it, you know, he knows I'm going to go for it. He's going to turn into me. He's going to turn this side down. Yeah, I'm always going to lose that, or most of the time you're going to lose that. That goes for anything, you know. Let's say any kind of pressure that I want him to turn on one side, and I use my arms or something, he's gonna try to turn back into me. Yeah, that's good for him. You always want to turn back into it. But how you can stop that is using your whole body. So for instance, as I said, let's say he does an elbow knee escape. I want to get my body behind at least behind his elbow, somewhere over here. And then I want to start turning with my body. Now here comes a really important part, is that I want to push my hips in, and I sort of want to just keep pushing him. I can even let my leg go if I want to, but I always want to have that pressure with my whole body. And this goes for this attacking there. You see, I place my body here, I make myself feel really heavy. He tries to turn back into me. You know, you should feel like living hell for him. It's really hard. And this kind of pressure is really common in various situations. You see, let's say I'm going to pass the guard. You see, you know when you hear that people make themselves really heavy, and you know you're underneath him, and some guy on the top feels like he's like a ton of bricks. So let's say I'm here. Okay, I want to sort of put a lot of pressure on it. I do this hip in. I turn my hip in, and I make myself really heavy, and he's going to try to turn back into me. Yeah, it feels like a ton of bricks is on it. That's how you make yourself heavy. This movement, hips in, and using your lower your abdominal area, using your hips, your legs, your back to make that pressure. Yeah. So yeah, this is cart passing. For instance, I make the angle. You know, if you watch my mini instruction on cart passing, I want to get the angle, and then I want to get the hips in. I want to make myself heavy. He tries to turn back into me. Yeah, I just make myself so heavy. I push my hips in. Okay, that really kills him. That's a really important movement. Okay, same goes for the mount. He does the upa escape, the elbow knee, and I pressure him here. I start to pressure him. He should not be able to turn back into me easily. Here I can attack now. I can grab the arms, go for an arm bar if I want to. You know, another example of that pressure is when you do an arm bar. Let's say you manage to get this position. You got the elbow, now you put now you're gonna do the pressure. Push the pressure here. You see, I turn with the pressure. There's always pressure here. Pressure. Still pressure with the hips. At all times, pressure. And that makes things tight, and that makes him unable to so easily turn back into me. With the gi, you can do it even better a little bit, because you can use the collar grip, and you come here, and you always use the pressure. When usually people make mistakes to make it so loose here, they turn into it. Yeah, you lost the armbar. You always gotta maintain that same pressure here, using your hips, your body. You straighten your back and you keep the pressure. Okay? Where else? For instance, even when I'm in the guard, you know. Oh my gosh. Let's say I want to just kind of drag him. You see, right, this position here. I'm going to do a little drag on him, and I'm going to get my body against him really fast. I'm going to get here. So try to turn back into me. Yeah, I'm pushing my hips. I'm pushing myself into him and pulling him towards me at the same time. So when he tries to do that, get him lost. No, he can't. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to finish this. So important pressure. And as we were on the arm drag, it's the same. Goes for stand-up wrestling. Yeah, again, if I do the drag or something, let's say I get a little angle on him. You see how I'm trying to get my hips in so close as I can. Because I want to make it tight. I want to make things tight here. Try to turn back into me. You're really heavy. It's going to be really heavy. Okay? Really universal pressure. And I really want you to think about that. Because if you start to recognize this, it's so easy to control a lot of things, you know. Instead of trying to control him with the arm here, it's just always fighting here, trying to push him on one side. You kind of get your body there, he tries to turn back into it. It's going to be so much harder. Always using the pressure to turn to initiate attacks and stuff. And same goes for guard passing. I'm here, I'm trying to just squeeze them there, he turns back into me. All failing all the time. If I learn to use my body behind it, you know, a lot of good things happen. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to give you today a little example on mount, what's important in mount, those two pressures, you know, using S mount, switching between the S mount and you know, the regular mount, keeping the legs underneath him all the time, just playing here around here, and then using the pressure, using that hips in all the time. Using, if you get good at those things, yeah, Jiu-Jitsu is probably 200% better. Okay, yeah, that's that for today. With everybody likes it. Oh, gosh,